Mark Gibson Humanist Channel. Accountant with designations CPA, MBA, CMA, ACPA, ASA, Australia. Enjoy learning!
On job order costing on the definition. So job order costing system, this is used in situations where many different products are produced each period. No? So let's differentiate it from process costing, though we'll discuss process costing in detail. No? There's a separate topic for that. But just to differentiate job order costing and process costing. So number one, job order costing is relatively small quantity, while in process costing it's relatively large quantity. And also for job order costing, it caters with heterogeneous products. So paano bang heterogeneous? Ibig sabihin, it varies from one to another. And process costing, it caters for homogeneous, meaning uh, one and the same, or standard products or standardized products. No? Okay, so there are three different types of costing systems. No, so today we'll discuss about the actual costing. Well, actual costing naman is actual. So actual direct materials, actual direct labor, and actual manufacturing overhead. Under normal costing, the only difference is that your manufacturing overhead is predetermined. Ano ibig sabihin ng predetermined? Hinulaan pero may basis. No? So later on, we'll discuss more about this. No? And standard costing, so it's all standard. No? Again, there's a separate topic for standard costing. So we'll take up standard costing when we get there. So for now, we'll focus on actual costing and normal costing. Okay. So preparation of statement of goods manufactured and sold. No? So there's there are two ways in uh, making sure that you'll get the full grasp of this lesson. It's either you memorize this in your mind or by heart. Pero siguro ang turo ko sa inyo is how to memorize it by heart. No? So raw materials beginning. Imagine mo, di ba? In manufacturing, there are three types of inventory. No? Kasi merchandising, isa lang. Merchandise, that's your inventory. But in manufacturing, there are three types. Una, raw materials. Inventory, so um, alam mo naman na ang inventory is an asset, no? So therefore, normal side is debit. Kailan nag-i-increase ang raw materials pag merong purchases? Okay, so raw materials beginning plus your purchases. So obviously, that's your raw materials available for use. So raw materials na natira from last year. So yun yung beginning mo. Nadagdagan dahil nag-purchase ka this period. So total of those two, that would be your raw materials available for use. Okay? So wala ka pa minamemorize, no? Yung logic pa lang. Next, syempre meron ka ngayon raw materials ending. So ito yung magre-reflect sa balance sheet mo. So anong tawag ngayon dun sa nawala? So yun yung raw materials used. So in order to arrive dun sa raw materials use, all you have to do is deduct the raw materials ending. So ang kinakalculate mo lang dito, magkano yung nagamit. Kasi yung nagamit, that will form part of your total manufacturing cost. So remember, in our last meeting, we discussed about the total manufacturing cost. So you have your direct material. So yun na yun, direct material used, your direct labor, and manufacturing overhead. So in this case, your total manufacturing cost, so your raw materials used, direct labor, and manufacturing overhead. Alisin mo muna kung applied, no? Kasi later on, i-discuss ko yan. So you have your total manufacturing cost. Add your beginning working process. Ito naman, no? The other type of inventory in a manufacturing firm is yung uh, work in process. Ito ngayon yung, ano ba yung work in process? Ito yung mga products na hindi natapos. Kaya work in process, no? So, not necessarily within the period, lahat magagawa yung lahat matatapos yung product. So, therefore, may naiiwan na work in process inventory. So, pansinin na yung total manufacturing cost applied to production plus the beginning work in process. So that's what you call as total goods put into process. So imagine mo lang, meron kang work in process beginning, dadagdag mo ngayon yung total manufacturing cost mo this period, ang tawag doon, total goods put into process. So ito yung pinaprocess pa lang. No? Less your ending work in process, ang tawag mo dyan is cost of goods manufactured. Ibig sabihin, tapos na. Ito na yung mga cost of goods na tapos mo nang i-manufacture. Pinagalo ko ng cost of goods manufactured or CGM. Ngayon, dahil tapos na siya, tapos na yung product, definitely, finished goods na siya. So, add to your beginning finished goods, that would be total goods available for sale. Sige, hinto muna tayo dyan, discuss natin ito. Imagine, meron ka ngayong cost of goods manufactured, ito yung galing sa work process mo. And then, meron kang finished goods, ito yung mga hindi mo na-ibenta last period, kaya meron kang inventory this period, beginning inventory, beginning finished goods inventory. So, ito ngayon yung total goods available for sale. Pero, kaya ka nagkakaroon ng finished goods ending kasi hindi mo naman lahat na ibebenta during the year. Kaya nga nagkakaroon ka ng beginning balance now for next year. So, less your finished goods ending, that would be your cost of goods sold. So, yun guys, sabi ko nga sa inyo, there are two ways to memorize this. Is by heart, ayan, tinulong sa inyo logic of each item in the cost of goods manufactured and sold, or i-memorize nyo na lang. So, either way will work for me kung ano yung mas comfortable kayo. No? Okay. So, proceed tayo sa exercise problem. Gawin natin to para at least mas maintindihan pa yung logic ng cost of goods manufactured and sold. Ultimately, cost of goods sold lang naman talaga yun. Dahil remember, di ba, in your income statement, you have your sales, less cost of sales, so your gross margin, less operating expenses, either general and administrative, and selling and distribution, then you'll have your net income. So, basic lang tayo, no? Huwag mong i-apply dito siguro yung sa financial accounting and reporting mo kasi this is cost accounting, management accounting, so alisin muna natin yung GAAP. Okay? Okay, so with that, let's proceed with exercise number 1. No? So, gagawin ko, meron na akong pin-prepare na solution dito, pero isa-isahin natin. No? So, siguro, focus muna tayo dun sa, ang ginawa kong approach is, gumawa lang ako ng T-account bawat isa. So, it's a complex problem, mahaba. So, ang initially, natatakot ka na, nininervous ka na. Pero bibigyan ko kayo ng technique on how to calculate this. No? Alisin ko muna itong mga colors dito. Kasi I just put that to emphasize on those topics. No? Okay. So, ito. December 31, 2019, January 1, 2021. Una ang tanong, question 1. Question 1 is, using actual costing, how much is the net income of the company for the year ended December 31, 2020? Okay? So, kung December 31, 2020, ang pinag-uusapan pala natin dito is balances as of December 31, 2020. So, therefore, this column, December 31, 2019, this is your beginning balance. And January 1, 2021, this is your ending balance. Plus, wala pa akong ginagawa, ipa-plot ko pa lang to. Raw materials inventory. So, lagay ko dito, raw materials. Para hindi ka na malito kung saan galing yung RM. Raw materials inventory, nilagay ko lang plus, beginning balance 160, wala pa akong ginagawa. Ending balance 190, wala pa akong ginagawa. Tinglat ko pa lang. Gawin ko siyang red na kung kailan ko pinapost. Work in process inventory beginning, okay. And then, work in process ending. Okay. So, wala pa akong ginagawa. Pinaplot ko pa lang yung legal. Finished goods inventory of 150 beginning. And then, finished goods inventory 140,000 ending. So, ano pa lang yan, class? Given pa lang yan, no? So, wala pa tayong ginagawa. So, later on, dito tayo sa mga bullet points. Accounts payable. So, gagawin ko na accounts payable. Accounts payable, sabi, beginning balance is unknown. So, kaya lagay ko siya. Question mark na lang muna for discussion purposes. And at the same time, unknown din ang ending balance. Okay? Accrued factory payroll, 6,000 ang beginning balance. Yan pa lang ang given. Matanda na, accrued factory payroll and accounts payable, these are liabilities. Therefore, credit side, no? Yung normal side niya. Kaya dito ko siya nilagay. And then ending, for discussion purposes, question mark. So, hindi provided. Okay. So, yung mga red, yan pa lang yung given, no? So, isa-isahin natin. Accounts payable during the year 2020 increased by 100,000. The company paid 500,000 to suppliers during the year. Okay? So sabi, accounts payable during the year has been increased by 100,000. The company paid. So meron ka ngayon, plot ko lang sa T-account natin, meron kang payment na 500,000. So kung payment yan, debit to your accounts payable kasi it will decrease your accounts payable, no? So meron kang payment. And sinabi dito, all materials were purchased on account. So meaning, all materials are purchased on credit. So inutang, no? So therefore, accounts payable talaga siya. Company paid 500,000. Ito, all accounts payable during the year 20 increased by 100,000. So mag-assume tayo dito, ha? So kung increase by 100,000, assuming 100,000 to, sabihin na nga, increase, ha? So, kung 100,000 ang ending mo, kasi sinasabi nila dito is ending balance, eh. So, increased by 100,000. Therefore, how much is your beginning inventory? Increased by, so it's 0. Okay. So, from 0, beginning accounts payable balance, sabi, nag-increase daw by 100,000. So, nagawa naman natin. No? So, example lang, kung 200,000 ko, gising ko nga muna itong purchase, wala pa tayo pag-usapan. Kung 200,000 ko, sabi, increased by 100,000, how much would be your ending balance? So, it will be 300,000. So, meron pa rin, na-fulfill pa rin natin yung increase, no? Na 100,000. Okay? Sige, class. Tingnan mo na kung na-absorb yun. So, gaya ng instruction ko, kung halimbawa may question, please post it in Canvas or sa Google Classroom. Okay. So, granting na ganito na yung assumption natin. No? So, sabi lang naman, increase by 100,000. So, papatunayan ko sa inyo na may increase talaga. So, from 200,000, naging 300,000. So, merong increase na 100,000. So, kailangan natin ngayon ma-compute how much is the total purchase. No? So, meron kang way, pero ang pinakamabilis is mag-work back ka. So, 300,000 plus 500,000 less 200,000 your beginning. So, meron ka ngayong total purchase on account na 600,000. Okay? So, itong 600,000 na to, palitan ko na ulit siya ng kulay. Gawin ko naman siyang blue. Kasi di ba ang entry mo whenever you purchase materials, so that's debit raw materials, okay, credit accounts payable. Okay, so hopefully nakakasunod pa. So that's bullet number 1. Bullet number 2, all materials used are considered significant to the product. So ano lang ibig sabihin yan, class? Sinasabi dito, lahat daw ng raw materials natin, di ba sinabi ko last time, if it's traceable, it's direct materials. No? Kasi there are two types of materials, no? Direct materials and indirect material. So, hopefully nakakasunod pa. Okay? During 2020, the company paid, bullet number 3 tayo, during 2020, the company paid factory payroll of 549,000 with the accrued factory payroll account increasing to 7,000. Okay. O dito tayo sa accrued factory accrued factory payroll. Okay. Siksan ulit natin. During 2020, the company paid factory payroll of 549,000. So, meron ka daw binayaran na 549,000. Gawin ko naman ito siyang green para hindi ka malito. Okay? Ngayon, the company with the accrued factory account increasing to 7,000. So, this now is 7,000. Pansinin mo ang pinagkaiba, increasing to 7,000. Ito, increased by 100,000. So, ito, binigay sa atin yung ending balance ng accrued factory payroll. So, in that case, meron ka na way to calculate your incurred, no? Accrued factory payroll incurred. So, meron ka ulit way. So, work back ka lang. So, meron kang ending plus your payment and then less your beginning balance. So that would be 550,000. Pero later on, we'll discuss about that. Punta muna tayo next bullet. Out of all the factory payroll expenses, 140,000 is from factory supervisor salaries and the rest is traceable to the assembly line. O ngayon class, remember, ano nga itong tawag dito sa tatlong to? That's your total manufacturing cost, diba? Total manufacturing cost. So, dun sa cost, introduction to cost and cost behavior natin, na pag-aralan natin na meron kang direct material, direct labor, and also overhead. Overhead, this includes indirect material, indirect labor, also all other expenses attributable to the manufacturing plant. No? So, meron ka na ngayon, binigay na sa'yo ngayon yung total payroll incurred, no, at 550,000, na-compute natin yan earlier. Pero sabi ng problem, 140,000 daw is for the factory supervisor salary. So dahil alam mo na yung 140,000, hindi siya part ng direct labor. So therefore, that 140,000 will form part of your indirect labor. Kasi factory supervisor pa rin naman yan. So kung factory supervisor yan, 140,000 daw, magkano lang yung natira? 410. So total is 550,000. That's your factory payroll incurred. Okay? Para nasundan, kinarehas ko lang siya. Bullet number 4, overhead is applied at predetermined rate of 200% based on direct labor. So in this case, kasi nga we're calculating actual costing, so balikan ko lang to. Di ba pag actual costing, lahat actual. So therefore, for requirement number 1, ignore muna natin yung bullet number 4. Okay, doon tayo sa other expenses. Other noted expenses of the company include factory rent expense. So factory rent expense, you have 100,000. So that's manufacturing overhead. Ayan. Okay. Next, electric bill amounting to 1 million. 50% of the electricity is traceable to the corporate office in Makati. 30% is selling area and 20% to the factory. Okay, pag-usapan natin ito. Diba last time, napag-usapan natin na if it's traceable to the selling area, so that's selling and distribution. So ito yan. Sabi 30%. Traceable to the corporate office kasi di ba hindi kesyo manufacturing plant, manufacturer ka ng product, wala ka namang offices. So therefore, general admin, no? And then 20% is traceable to the factory. So that will fall under your operating overhead. No? So that's, ang total is 1 million. So meron ka na ngayong total na 1 million for the electricity. Okay. So moving on, depreciation. 300,000 depreciation expense equipment used for producing the merchandise. So overhead ulit siya, na? Ang colorful na ng spreadsheet natin. Depreciation expense computer used for generating accounting reports. So 150 accounting reports. So alam mo yan. And then 100,000 furniture found on the showcase floor. So sa selling area. Okay. Sige. And then last bullet is cash sales amounted to 1 million and net credit sales of 2 million. So parehas naman yan sales mo. So isa-send mo na ulit natin ito. Napansin mo, zero yung indirect material. Kasi, sabi ng problem, all materials used are considered significant to the product. So, dahil lahat traceable to the product, in-assume natin ngayon na indirect material is zero. So, okay na tayo dyan, ha? Ngayon, ano lang yung missing? Wala pa tong direct material. So, meron ka namang way how much is the direct raw materials used in production, no? Itong 570. So, work back ka lang ulit. So, meron kang beginning balance, meron kang purchases, and then of course, yung ending. Kailangan mo lang i-deduct to get your, this is the raw materials put into production. Okay. So, ito ngayon yan. Sige. Oops. Sige. Ngayon, pag-usapan natin itong direct material, direct labor, overhead, no? So, sabi natin, in a job order costing, meron tayong job order sheet, no? So, ito yung ina-apply, yung cost, manufacturing cost that we apply to production. So, but it could be termed as requisition or issued, no? So, pag nabasa mo yung problem, same lang yun, no? So, direct materials issued, direct labor issued, overhead requisition to production. So, that would be your total manufacturing cost. No? So remember earlier when I discussed about the statement of your cost of goods sold, na-mention natin na beginning work in process, ibig sabihin ito yung hindi natapos ma-manufacture last year. So, beginning mo siya this year. Add your total manufacturing cost. So, ang tawag mo dito ay cost of goods put into process. Total goods put into process. So, ito yung mina-manufacture natin. No? So, ngayon, ano yung missing? Yung cost of goods manufactured. Ito ngayon yung natapos na. So, given yung beginning, given din yung total manufacturing cost, so ang tawag mo dyan, total goods put into process, no? Less your ending inventory, so you can now compute your cost of goods manufactured, no? So, pakita ko lang ulit, ha? So, beginning inventory, tapos total manufacturing costs applied to production. Ayan. Total manufacturing costs. And then your ending inventory, kailangan natin i-minus. So total mo, that's 1,720,000. O plus, pakinotice ha, nagkataon lang na yung total manufacturing cost mo is equal to your cost of goods manufactured dahil nagkataon na yung beginning at ending balances mo equal. Pero it's not the case all the time, no? So, I just want to remind you, no, na nagkataon lang siya dito sa problem natin. No? Okay? So, therefore, itong cost of goods manufactured, yan na yung tapos na, no? Tapos na natin manufacture. Therefore, lilipat na natin siya as finished goods. Okay? So, nilagay ko lang ulit ko. Sana may iba pa akong kulay. So, ito ngayon siya. Okay? So, sana nakakasunod pa yung flow, ha? So, therefore, kung meron kang cost of goods manufactured na 1,720,000, meron kang beginning balance ng finished goods na 150,000, meron ka na ngayong way to calculate your cost of goods sold, no? So, add mo lang yung beginning inventory plus your cost of goods manufactured less your ending inventory. So, that's 1,730,000. Yun yung cost of goods sold mo. Okay? So, ang question is, how much is the net income? So, from these three accounts, i-derive lang natin. No? So, you have sales. Sales is 1 million plus 2 million. So, that's 3 million. Less cost of goods sold. Ayun. So, you get your gross margin of 1,270,000 less general and admin, nakamali pa ba? Na 650,000. Unfortunately, manual nakalink para hindi ka mahirapan. And selling and distribution of 400,000. So therefore, your net income is 220,000. So that's the answer to question number 1. So, ayun. So, yun yung naging flow ng buong problem. Okay? So, kung hopefully walang question at kung meron man, just post it to your post it in Canvas or in Google Classroom. Okay, let's now proceed to question number 2. Sige. Question number 2, same pa rin, no? Same details. Using normal costing, how much is the net income of the company for the year ended December 31, 2020? Ito class, balik tayo dun sa theory part. Ang normal costing, sabi, actual material, actual labor, pero ang manufacturing overhead is predetermined. Bakit pa kasi kailangan predetermined pa? Kasi class, kaya, di ba sabi ko kanina, hinuhulaan pero may basis. The problem is silent. Ano yung naging basis niya? Why? Overhead is applied at predetermined rate of 200% based on direct labor cost. No? So, yan yung predetermined overhead rate natin. No? Pero, imagine mo in real life, no? Sabihin mo ba kay customer, hindi ko pa naibenta sa yan kasi hindi ko pa alam yung total cost ko. Baka end of month pa darating yung electricity bill. So, antay ka muna. Plus, hindi mo pwedeng gawin yun. No? So, therefore, in order for you to compute for your total cost during the month, you assume a certain percentage, a certain rate for your overhead. Okay? So, in that case, ang nabago lang dito is yung calculation ng overhead. So, ang gagawin natin, inalis ko lahat ng actual overhead and then I applied it. Kaya napansin mo, pinalitan ko na siya, overhead applied. 820 paano? Na-compute, sabi, 200% of direct labor cost. Hindi natin uulitin lahat ng discussion. Ipapakita ko lang na dahil 410,000, so ayan, 410,000 yung direct labor natin na na-compute earlier, 200% of that will be your overhead applied. Okay? So therefore, kung yan yung overhead applied, syempre magka-calculate ulit tayo ng cost of goods manufactured. Nagbago yan dahil nagbago yung total overhead mo. So now, cost of goods manufactured is 1.8 million. Then transfer natin to finished goods. Your cost of goods sold is now 1,810,000. Ang tinatanong dito, how much is the net income of the company for the year ended December 31, 2020 before closing the variance. Yung variance, pag-usapan natin later on. So therefore, meron ka sales, same naman, 3 million, less cost of sales, 1,810,000. So you'll get your gross margin, deduct your general and admin, your selling and distribution. So you'll arrive with your net income of 140,000. So, careful lang class. Ang difference lang between actual costing and normal costing would be your manufacturing overhead. In normal costing, manufacturing overhead is applied, used predetermined rate. No? So in this case, the predetermined rate is 200% based on direct labor cost. Provided lang po yan. Okay? So question number 3, using normal costing, how much is the net income of the company for the year ended December after closing the variance, assuming the variance is significant? So, yan ha. Pag-usapan naman natin, paano kung insignificant? Ang una, ano ba yung nag-cause ng variance? Diba? Naalala mo, balikan ko to meron ka ditong overhead. Kunin ko lang siya. Huwag kang mali dito pa rin kasi kinuha ko lang naman yung total overhead. Ito yung actual overhead. No? Ngayon, meron kang applied overhead. Magkano? 820,000. This is actual overhead. Meron kang applied overhead na 820,000. So therefore, merong difference. O yan yung variance. No? Merong difference na 80,000. O ngayon class, ang question, is it over-applied or under-applied? O, dalawa lang naman tinitingnan ng amounts, no? Ang actual overhead per calculation is 740,000. Okay? Applied overhead based on 200% of 200% of direct labor cost is 800. Ito yung kinalculate natin. No? Ito yung in-apply natin dun sa production natin. So therefore, we have an over-applied 80,000. Ibig sabihin, mas mataas yung cost na kinarga natin sa production versus dun sa actual. So kailangan natin i-correct. So yun lang yun. Kailangan natin i-correct yung reporting natin by 80,000. Sige, pag-usapan natin yan. Ang question dito is, if assuming the variance is significant, paano kung insignificant? No? Pag insignificant, i-correct mo lang is yung cost of goods sold. So debit factory overhead, credit cost of goods sold. So ito rin naman yung same illustration ko kanina. Ito yung actual mo. So, meron ka account, factory overhead control, and then ito yung applied mo. So, meron kang over-applied na 80,000. All you have to do is post it. Tignan mo, if insignificant, debit factory overhead, para kasi kino-close na natin yung disbalance, credit cost of goods sold. So, therefore, kung ito yung susundin natin, if, for example, it's insignificant, tandaan, pag insignificant sa cost of goods sold lang i-adjust. So therefore, your sales is 3 million less cost of goods sold minus 80,000. So 1.810, 1,810,000 less 80,000. So 1,720,000. Of course, you get your gross margin and then deduct all the expenses, general and administrative, selling and distribution. So you'll arrive with your net income of 220,000 pesos. Ngayon, paano pag significant? If the variance is significant, kailangan i-adjust mo yung work in process, yung finished goods, and yung cost of goods sold. No? Right. So, paano yun? Paano yung ratio na gagawin natin? It should be using ending balances. No? So, kanina, alam na natin kung magkano yung ending balances ng working process, 100,000. Ending balance ng finished goods, 140,000. And of course, alam mo na kung magkano yung cost of goods sold mo, 1,800,000. Kailangan mo lang i-prorate. So, marunong ka lang dapat mag-prorate at this time. So, this is your book. Kung hindi pa, ang gagawin mo lang naman is 80,000. Sabi ko lang yung 80,000 multiplied by 100,000 divided by yung total, 2051. So that's 3,902. For work in process. For finished goods, that's 5,463, and cost of goods sold of 70,64. So therefore, your total net income is 210,634. Okay. Okay. Sige. Siguro one more round pa, no? Para at least mas maintindihan mo yung logic, no? Ulitin ko, in merchandise, in manufacturing firms, we have three types of inventory. You have your raw material inventory, your work in process inventory, and your finished goods inventory. Yan, dahil inventory yan part ng asset account mo, no? So, normal side is debit balance. Ngayon, itong raw materials inventory here could be direct material inventory or indirect material inventory. But for this problem, sinabi na that all materials are considered significant to the product. So therefore, all these raw materials are direct materials, no? But syempre, hindi palagi ganun yung case, no? So therefore, you could have probably a number of raw materials, no? Kasi, lalo kung manufacturing ka, meron pa nga kami, naalala ko nun, when I was employed in one manufacturing firm in Subic, no? Meron kami year-end count. So, binibilang namin talaga mga screws, cooling fans. Iniisa-isa namin yun at year-end, no? Kasi yun yung physical count. So, definitely, there will be a number of lines falling under raw materials, no, in a manufacturing plant. Sabihin natin kung bag, meron kang mga threads, meron kang textiles, yung textiles mo. Kung ba maraming design, so could be textile 1 to 100 kasi iba-iba, di ba? This is job order costing. So, iba-iba yung products na ginagawa natin. Iba-ibang designs. So, yun lang. I think yun lang yung kailangan ko i-emphasize in raw materials. Now, if the raw materials, direct labor, and overhead, kailangan requisition or issue to production. When those costs are now issued to production, it will form part of your work in process. Ito na yung tinatrabaho na, no? So, parang yung teddy bear ulit. So, yung teddy bear, ina-assemble na, nandito na papasok siya sa work in process. So, itong beginning balance, it could be, ito yung mga teddy bears na hindi pa na buo last year. No? So, kaya meron kang beginning balance dyan. So, in-apply mo ngayon yung direct material, direct labor, overhead. Again, anong natawag dito plus? Your beginning balance plus manufacturing cost applied to production. O plus, remember, hindi ito yung total manufacturing cost. No? Kasi ito yung total manufacturing cost applied to production or requisition or issued to production. So, you have your beginning balance, working process of 100,000, add the total manufacturing cost applied to production. So, sana na inulit-ulit ka na yun. No? So, that will be your total goods put into process. So, ito na yung nasa process na, no? So, kaya in process, work in process. No? Less your ending work in process, so you'll get your cost of goods manufactured. So, ito yung tapos na. So, dahil tapos na, ililipat na natin siya sa finished goods. Okay? So, cost of goods manufactured. So, dito rin plus sa finished goods. So, meron ka ngayon mga natapos na teddy bear last year, pero hindi mo pa naibibenta. So, that's your beginning balance. No? Kasi, ideally, gusto natin na lahat na manufacture natin, maibenta natin. Pero hindi ganun palagi, no? Lalo na sa accounting, may cut-off tayo. Kasi kung walang cut-off, alam mo naman si sales, gusto niya magbenta lang ng magbenta. Pero dahil nga meron tayong, especially in financial reporting, meron tayong mga deadlines, so we have to have accounting close na kailangan natin magsara ng libro. So, by December 31, stop na. Iba nga, ahead pa kasi gusto mo bakasyon. So, yun. I-add mo sa cost of goods manufactured, you'll get your total goods available for sales. Less your ending finished goods, you'll get your total cost of goods sold. Ito yung amount, cost nung naibenta na. Again, ending balance, ito ulit yung hindi mo pa naibenta na product, or in our example, teddy bear, ito yung natira pa at year end. No? So, balikan ko ulit itong essentially at this stage, ito kasi yung pinaka-basis, lalo na pag ulit tayo, processing and standard costing. So, hopefully, I have explained to you very well kung paano naging flow niya, yung logic ng flow ng statement of cost of goods sold. So, hopefully, naintindihan na yan. Ngayon, kung hindi, I suggest you memorize it kasi when you practice calculating or solving a problem, dyan palagi ang bagsak niya. Dyan, throughout, siguro 1 or 3 problems lang, alam mo na yung agad yung logic niya. So, what I suggest you to do is rework on this problem. Kasi ito, this is a comprehensive problem. It tackles all the parang phases of cost of goods sold. So, meron ka dyan actual costing and then normal costing. So, ayun. So, I think that's all for the job order costing.
This has been your instructor, Mark Gibson. Thank you for learning with us. See you in our next discussion. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See ya!